Hey guys, Reefs here. Today I'm going to teach you how to install Clarify for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. It is untested on Monster Hunter World base game, but you can still try it out to see if it works. If it does, let me know, because I don't know, and I don't have base game, I have Iceborne. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to go to the Clarify page. I'll put all the links in the description. Then go to requirements, and then we're going to choose Strikers Loader. I'm going to open it, another tab. Okay, restores full native PC functionality. Requirements, none. Excellent. Bring in a file. Strikers Loader, update for 15.22. Okay, this is going to be a manual download. Okay, this is what it looks like. Alright, pretty cool. So what you want to do is you want to download this. I'll do manual. And then I'm going to go to my file. Okay. So we are going to extract it. And then these are the files right here. I already have them, but I'm going to take you to my game directory. So to find out your video game directory, just go to Steam, go to your library, go to your game, go to the settings, and then we're going to go to manage, and then we're going to go to browse local files. And here we are, the game directory. Now what you're going to do is you're going to drag and drop these three and this folder, and we're going to ignore this zip. Once you do that, it should be in the same directory as your game executable. Native PC is the folder in which all your mods will go. As you can see, I already have quite a few mods on here. Now we're going to head over to the browser, and we're going to go back to Clarify, and we're going to choose pack. Let's see, Clarify non-bloat, Clarify normal. We're going to do the Clarify deal normal mode. It contains the following mods that I have already released on this page as separate files. We're going to manual download. Then we're going to head over to File Explorer. We're going to open this up. We still have the directory to the mods here. We're going to go to downloads. We don't need these anymore. Okay, Clarify package deal. We're going to extract here. We're going to open this up. Here it is, the folder you need. Now, we're going to stay inside native PC, and we're going to go into the mods native PC. We're going to drag and drop this folder into an empty space in here, which is this right here. I go inside, and as you can already see, I already have these installed. Skill English. This is the English translation for the skill descriptions. Skill PT. This is the English translations for the skill titles and some of the descriptions. A skill is for equipment like Ghillie Mantle, Glider Mantle, and OT tool is Palico Gadgets. For those of you that have the mod manager, you just drag and drop the zip file instead of extracting it. If there is difficulty in installing, let's say, a large file, it's best not to put it in the mod manager. or if the mod that you have does not follow this structure, you would have to either change it yourself or ask the mod author to adjust the file structure to make it mod manager friendly. Now, I hope this helps you guys in some way for those that are just learning how to mod and don't know what to do. Thanks for tuning in, and uh, I'll go ahead and skip over to the Monster Hunter and show you guys what this mod looks like. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and sort skills, and then whatever skills you currently have unlocked through the armory, you can view them here. As you can see, information according to poison resistance has been changed and adjusted according to its statistical data. Most, if not at least half of these, meaning the skill descriptions, have been changed by the author of Clarity and not myself, since they do not need the change. However, most of them, if not almost all of them, needed rewrites, reworks, and reformatting. So in this case, this is one of the non-changed ones in terms of data, but in terms of format, I have rewritten this in the current format where it displays the reduction or addition, such as the minus, and then the value, in which is the percent, and then the effect, such as paralysis duration or resistance. I have capitalized some of these words just so they look a little nicer, since they're not exactly a sentence format. Like prevents paralysis, the paralysis used to be lowercase and had a period. I decided to just capitalize the P and take the period out and do the same thing for most of these skills, such as the rest of the ailments. The game recognizes the game recognizes the ailments, paralysis, poison, as elements when it is applied to your weapon. However, when it is applied on a monster, it is indeed an ailment or abnormal status. And then here for tremor resistance, I've included the change that Clarity has made, which is the data. Or at least I don't think this is from Clarity. I think this is data from somewhere else that I gathered. But the title, I have changed it only to uh, break a certain myth that may still linger, which is the idea that staying still during the recovery process of ground tremors, which doesn't actually make you recover faster. Same thing with roars. Since your character covers their ears, or at least one of them, during a roar, you'd think, oh, if I stand still and let my character cover their ear or ears, they'd recover faster. It's like, no, it's not that complex. And then we're gonna head over to, let's say, recovery up. I changed the description in order to match the actual effect of recovery up and not have any moment of confusion. I had forgotten what this used to say. I think it was just recover 10%. Out of context, it sounds like something else. I can't quite explain it since I'm not thinking about it right now. So we just added more. You recover more from sources that already heal. And of course, this was left unchanged. This is a clarity change, and I just updated the title to include what exactly it means to have recoverable damage. And then let's see, ice attack. For the one I have, I'm currently using the non-bloat mode, so all of the elements are going to be divided by 10. So instead of 30 ice, it's 3. And then, as you can see over by my damage on my equipment info, it's 114 instead of some insanely large number that makes little to no sense. It makes me think I'm actually stronger than I already am, even though I am stronger. I am better. Okay, and then we've got more statistical data, like minus 50% elemental byte duration. Alright. And then 75%. Okay, I understand. And then to the more, then there are some skills that I left completely unchanged, except for the title. Actually, no, that I did not change the title. This is pure vanilla right here. The inspiration in which I got the description from wanted to change the terms instead of draws out, it's unlock. But I figured, nah, it sounds cool to say that your weapon draws out its potential. And then let's see, critical draw. Here we go. A title change and format of description increases affinity of draw attacks. Oh, what are draw attacks? Oh, any unsheathing attack. Any unsheathing attack. That includes the first attack performed on a mount, the first attack you throw out when you jump, so a jumping attack, that counts. And then we have part breaker, the description, and the title change as well. Let's look at something else. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Divine Blessing gives a 25% chance to reduce damage taken. The inspiration had included the percent chance in the description itself, but I thought, why not put it in the title? Gives a 25% chance to reduce damage taken. Well, how much damage? That's where we look at the skill. 15, 25, and 50. Let's see. Some do not have changes, like I mentioned before. Pro Transporter, I believe, is one that has been slightly changed, but I did not notice since it was already changed when I had opened up Clarity and began the modifications. And then Speed Sharpening needs absolutely no change. Does exactly what it says. Perfect. And then we have Speed Eating. I was confused a bit as to the information I had observed, but then I understood. Food and drink, let's say meat, and then we have immunizers that follows the drink category. And then we have quick use. So consuming items that do not have a duration. When you cook well done steak, it's a duration. Like you're spending time eating it. A ration, however, should be considered quick use. Same thing with Max Potion, Nullberry, Ancient Potion, the Might Pill, anything like that. Those are quick use. Food and drink are duration based. Mega Potion, Mega Nutrients, etc. And then we're going to do one more. Quick Lances while I'm going over. Let's see. How about one of these? Okay, Element Acceleration. Continually hitting a monster grants free element ammo up level 2 and increases element by 6. For those of normal mode, it would be 60 for 45 seconds. And then we have continually hitting a monster grants free element ammo up level 3 and increases element by 150 for 45 seconds. Divinity. Okay, this one was a bit tricky to do because of the long description, but I managed to get it to fit. So your weapon builds Frost Aura while sheathed, raising attack, wanes after each use. You get a maximum of 25% damage buildup. Your maximum is instead 30 for the following weapons. And then on critical element, I have displayed the percent info for the increase when dealing critical hits. My mic. I accidentally slammed my. The element percent is unchanged on normal and on non-bloat mode, since it is not in the format in which that needs to be non-bloated. And then we have things like status build-up increase, and then the different increase for other weapons. And then we have the more simpler things, like +1 max bow charge level, very simple. And then raises the max level of the slugger skill. I just reduced the word maximum to max. And +5 draw attack power. So not necessarily more attack, just that the attack power itself of your draw attack is more. I say this because it may not display in your equipment info as you're committing to the action. Alright, so that's skills. Let's go into equipment. Alright, so in terms of equipment, the only mantle that has been unchanged, and not because I left it unchanged, is the iceproof mantle. I changed the description to follow the same format as waterproof and thunderproof. You know, the proof mantles. Anywho, I'm going to say this now for those that are watching so they can remember. Alright, iceproof mantle, minus 70% ice damage. It prevents ice blight and mobility reduction from deep snow. Wow, it's on there. The only thing that isn't on there is the formatting and the minus 70%. Oh, actually, there's one more thing. It protects you from. Also nullifies ice blight, cold effects. Oh, well, it's there. Cold effects. Okay. And then we have more specific information. Let's look at something that may be unknown. Oh, here we go. Alright, how about temporal? Nullifies damage from powerful attacks on impact via auto evasion. Meaning, you get hit, you automatically dodge, you weave right through it without taking damage. Weaker attacks will not trigger this effect. If you take a bump, like a monster bumps into you and it's considered an attack, you will take a small amount of damage because it's weak unless you don't have a lot of defense, and you won't automatically dodge it. Damage while mid-air, so let's say while you're doing a jumping attack, or while you're just in the air in general, if you get hit, you will not be interrupted. In other words, there won't be an animation. And then IB stands for Iceborne. When you grapple onto a monster, and the monster moves its part that would otherwise make you jump off, or knock you off, you will not take damage, and you will not be interrupted. And then I have tips down there to display any helpful information that I may have found out or figured out during my time playing the game. Rapid multi-hit attacks may trigger temporal many times while only counting once. This was my fight against a monster that had a multi-attack that was very powerful. While in the middle of the attack, during the dodge, the effect triggered 3 times, or at least the audio cue for the evasion triggered 3 times. However, I only dodged once, and the timer on the mantle was only reduced once due to it being unable to register all 3 multi-hits because of how immediate the effect was after another. And then let's look at Rocksteady Mantle. Let's see, nullifies flinching, nullifies wind pressure, nullifies roars, tremors, negates stun, and you take less damage. Oh, got a burp. A bit. Anywho, it does not protect you from paralysis or pin downs. Now, pin downs are attacks that pin you down, and then an animation plays where you take damage. Let's say a very common one, Rathalos, right? Rathalos will fly right at your face, and you will be pinned down, or it'll make you fall down. And then Rathalos will back up, grab you, and then do a very sick backflip while throwing you in the air. That is a pin down. And then for Iceborne, you will not be knocked off while grappling. That is the same effect as temporal. So if you want to do a grappling build, you do Rocksteady and temporal. However, you will take damage. And then for the tip, prevents protection from attacks due to no knockbacks. Watch out for multi-hits. So what that means is when you take a certain attack, when an attack hits you and you get knocked back in a certain way that leaves you on the floor, you will not be protected. You will not have iframes from moves. And let me tell you, being on the floor for an extended period of time is a viable option. I think I've been on the floor for 6 seconds, like literally on top of a Brachydios blast scourge or a blast coating on the floor, the slime, and it did not hurt me. It's very helpful. So be very careful when wearing the Rocksteady. And then one last one for mantles. We're gonna go with the Apothecary Mantle for informative purposes. Blade Master weapons are weapons that are melee, so not including heavy bowgun, light bowgun, and bow. So Blade Master weapons proc ailment, build up per hit, instead of 1 out of 3 hits. So you get a 100% ailment chance. In exchange, you will lose build up for the following ailments: poison, blast, paralysis, sleep. This, and then I put in the tip to encourage the discouragement of the nerf. So just because it's less for the build up doesn't mean it's not going to trigger the ailments any sooner, because you have a higher chance of proccing. No, in fact, you have a max chance of proccing. Alright? So Apothecary Mantle, don't skip out on. After all, this is a game, and all these items, mantles, equipment, you make a build, and with a build, you have fun. Alright, and then we have Impact Mantle, plus 1.3 stun build-up, multiplier for attacks that can stun. Attacks that did not, now do, granting a base build-up depending on the attack's power. There was information, statistical information, that I cannot add for 2 reasons. One is too much, and I can only have 7 lines of dialogue in the box before I have to go down under the box, and that's only for tips, formatting reasons. And then the other reason is I don't want to encourage metas. I really don't. I don't like following metas in a game like Monster Hunter. You play the game, have fun. And then here's another info. I've already gone over many mantles. Uh, okay, I'll do a quick glance only because I like Glider Mantle. Anytime it says IB, it's for Iceborne. Alright, now let's go to the Palico. So there are 2 versions of this mod. The add-on, and it's the one with name changes and the one with no name changes. So the only name changes I've done are for Bug Trapper, or a Flashfly Cage, Shield Spire, Plunderblade, and Molotov Cocktail. So, Vigor Wasp. So the format for the gadgets is a quote, and then a brief description of what it does, very direct explanation, and then the second part is the skills, or what should I say, the gadget moves, the move set. And the level demonstrates when it is unlocked. Level 1 is by default, level 5, level 11. Level 11 is Iceborne, according to the IB displayed, and then a little brief description of how the skill is activated, or how the skill is used. Not enough space for me to add a long informative piece of information, so I had to keep it simple. It flies your way, it places it down, and Vigor Wasp Revival, one-time use. And then there are some little bits I added at the bottom. So, as you can see, I had a little funny bit here. Caution, side effects include runny nose, defying death, and immediately fainting after defying death. This is a hint at all you hunters with Vigor Wasp Revival who have fainted after being revived. I'm sorry about that. And then here's another one. So the beginning quote is gonna be from the moment where your Palico receives the gadget from the respective Linian. So our warriors carry this gadget as a symbol of our tribe. Take it. A set of bug trapper cages that contain different bugs and utility. Very simple description. Does exactly what it says. Potency improves with proficiency. I decided to change whatever word it was to potency because Flashfly, Thunderbug, and Boombug aren't duration based. Aren't completely duration based because Flashfly blinds. That's duration based. Thunderbug, that's duration based as well, but Boombug is not. And it wouldn't be accurate to say duration or effects. Effects, it's kind of null. It's kind of boring. Potency is better. And I changed from Flashfly to Bug Trapper Cages because that makes more sense. Choral Orchestra gets it right. Shield Spire and Stooge, the title is there for you Iceborne users because if you have base game, you're gonna wonder when the heck am I gonna get my Stooge, but you won't because that's for Iceborne. And there's a tip there: not attacking the Stooge makes it last longer than attacking it. I took that from the intro used, not the intro. Sorry, the that one phrase where it goes, dealing damage to something does more damage than not dealing, something like that. And this is a choral orchestra. Same thing. Quote from the Linian or Gremokine, and then the brief description of what it does, and then the common improves this or makes this better with proficiency, and then the name of skills along with stats. Okay, Coral Horn buffs the stats, and then Bongo resistance based skills. An example of buffs to stats are attack boost, more defense. Let's see what else. Stamina depletion. You know, reduce stamina cost, and I can't think of any off the top of my head. But resistances, I can remember quite a few. Right, as many resistances as you can think of that are general and not element specific, like negate stun, negate tremors, grants you uh, earplugs S, which is earplugs small, which is earplugs level 3, which is nullify weak monster roars, divine protection, and wind pressure, and then sonic gong, staggers. Wow, how very unorchestral that is. Unfortunate. And then instead of just Plunder Blade, because it's not just Plunder Blade, and they specifically mention the Plunderer specifically mentioned it is an invention of their own. So I decided to name it Plunder Inventions. Haha. And then of course the quote, and then Plunder Blade and Palette Ring. I decided to add Go Gadget because, I mean, come on, gadgets, inventions, it's all here. So Plunder Blade, and then information off of specific things instead of exactly putting in what it does. I decided to put in something more informative, something a need to know basis. Like you need to know this. Capped at 4 steals. Alright. Plunder Blade does not cause a drop. Plunder Blade is attack on impact. Your Palico will jump and strike. And then we have Palarang. Okay. I'm not sure if it's infinite. I'm saying it's infinite because holy cow, you can make the monster drop shinies for as long as you're in the hunt. It's fantastic. I've thought about doing that for Lunastra, but then I realized how tedious that was. So don't spend an entire hunt using Palarang to get that nice shiny drop that you're looking for, when instead you can beat the absolute crap out of them. And then Iceborne, Mountain Plunder. Mountain Plunder. Mixed feelings. Yay, thank you for the shinies, but once it caps at 10, it's just, bro, I wanted my Palico to Plunder Blade, not Mountain Plunder. Especially when when their cooldown is ready, and then they use their skill and you can't get them off. The cooldown for them, not the request cooldown, which is on the item bar. And then, a little tip or a little quote right there. Just a little quote I made. I don't actually. Linian did not actually say that. And then get you like an arsenal because holy cow, you can throw a bomb. Your Palico Slinger get chambers in uh, explosive rounds, 3 round burst, and then the Meowcano is perfect. Oh yes, the Meowcano. And then a little warning, so you know how to use it. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.